Draymond Green, 5-game suspension for his actions in that tussle that started the Warriors-Timberwolves game the other night. Klay Thompson, Rudy Gobert, and Jaden McDaniels all fined $25,000. Draymond's the only one who's suspended. 5 games. In a statement, the NBA says the length of the suspension is based in part on Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts, or as I like to call it, a history of violence. Total salary loss by Draymond will be $770,000 roughly. So Charlotte, he got 5 games. Now, I've seen some people say Ja Morant got 25 games for not hurting anybody and merely exercising his constitutional right to bear arms, right? Was Draymond Green's suspension too heavy, too light, or just right, Goldilocks?
The honest answer is I don't know. I mean, I think my feeling is that it's correct. I think that this is very different from an off-court issue like Ja Morant's, where he was messing around with guns. There was a lot of stuff going on. It was over a couple of years.
Even though they were itty-bitty guns.
Yeah, you know, size doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter.
It's official.
I think for...
Thank you.
I think for Draymond, in a situation that is a very clear on-court situation, and where he has done this kind of thing over and over and over, and where he just jumped into the fray, he seemed like he couldn't wait to get his arms around Gobert's neck. It feels appropriate. I feel like someone like Ja Morant, who has issues off the court that have been spanning a few years now, and then multiple instances with guns, multiple instances of people saying that he approached them off the court, just stuff that felt like it had to be addressed in a very serious way. I think that for Draymond, who this was an on-court issue, he couldn't wait to jump into the fray. He was already suspended from a game this season for doing stuff like this. And I think that the league was probably like, look, if we don't do something, like if we don't suspend him for 5 games, this guy is just going to keep gaining strength. He's like a superhero whose power is like, you know, hurting guys in extracurricular activity on the court. And so they were probably like, if we don't show him that there is serious consequences, missing 5 games, then what's going to stop him? And that might not even stop him. I don't know. Do you think that this is going to have any effect on what he does when he comes back to the court? No,
absolutely not. He's already told us in so many words that he's better at being Draymond than anybody else is. And don't tell him what to do or how to do it. And, you know, in his defense, like, he's got a track record of success to go along with the track record of a history of violence. Yeah. That's why I think 5 games wasn't enough. And I speak as someone who's an unapologetic Draymond, not supporter, but like admirer of his game. And I think he is the ultimate winner and all of those things. But also, if you tell me that the punishment for going upside the head of someone I really don't like is 5 games,
yeah,
I'll take it. What, here? $790,000? All right, here you go. And then I'm going full speed. That's him as a serial repeat offender being able to do that. And again, this wasn't Rudy Gobert hard foul on Draymond Green, Draymond Green shoved, and then they got in a fight. This was, think about it, Klay Thompson versus Jaden McDaniels, and here comes Draymond Green. He's like, it's my turn. It's my turn. Like, you can't. It's so.
If the mic is Rudy, this is Draymond.
Yeah, right? Like, it is as tangential a cause to escalate violence as you could ever come up with. And he's just
so
like,
what do you think he should have been?
I think 10 games. I think 10 games, and then let the Players Association like appeal, and then, you know, arbitration, whatever, get it down to whatever it is. But I think you have to send a message that you can't headhunt people. That's the whole reason why the NBA the way it is. I said this yesterday's show. People call NBA soft because nobody fights anymore. They don't not fight because they're afraid to fight. They do not fight because the consequences for fighting have become so draconian that, like, no one wants to lose money like that. But in this case, this is someone who clearly did not give a damn about the consequences. And I don't think, like you do something in the moment, like what about the consequences? To hell with the consequences. And then you do it and you're done and you go home, you're like, crap, man, I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble, aren't I? And then they say, all right, Draymond, we're very disappointed. And you've got a long history of doing these kind of unsportsmanlike acts. 5 games. And inside he must be like, that's it? Oh, I got off scot-free.
I could see Draymond. I could see him feling like 5 games is absurd. I feel like the way that he
5 games in November, the most meaningless of games.
I know, but for a guy like this whose entire personality is based on doing this, and he's done this for a while, and is this the first time he's been suspended 5 games?
Yeah, this is the longest suspension of his career.
That to him, that probably means more than the actual amount of games. And I guess I just wonder if, given where the Warriors are right now and Steph being out, if there's any part of this with 5 games out where his team will be like, look, man, like you can't do this again. Like, sure, it's 5 games in November. What if it's 5 games in March? What if it's I feel like more than that would have given him the ability to be like, 10 games, 15 games, that's absurd. And then like rally people around him. Instead, 5 games is enough that his teammates can be like, don't do this again.
Right.
Like, just don't keep doing it.
I don't know. I think yes, in terms of, hey man, like but you heard what Steve Kerr said after they were all like, yeah,
I know.
Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And for them, like I said, like if you say this is the penalty, juice is totally worth the squeeze. Now, if it's in the playoffs, different story. That's a different story, right? Because there's not a quantity of disposable basketball. Right now, it's all disposable basketball. And I know the league doesn't want to hear that. I know we created this in-season tournament to make it more valuable, and I think it has to some extent. But at the end of the day, it's still fairly disposable. And the reality is, even with the added value of in-season tournament games, the psychic benefit for Draymond Green to go take out someone he does not like and has not liked for a very long time far exceeds whatever the cost is in terms of games missed or whatever.